Greetings, luminous souls. If you're catching this message, you're a starseed, and you've called this to yourself, so I invite you to tune till the end. And this message is 6 steps, techniques that you can utilize to make contact with extraterrestrial life and your galactic family. So you're going to want to stick around till the end. The first thing to do, an overall note, is the vibration and frequency that I invite you to hold is an open mind and a loving heart and pure intent. So we'll start that. That sets the stage for everything, all right? The first step, one, we're going to deal with a little fear here. Because if you have any sort of fear in making this contact, they won't show up. From my experience and the thousands, probably millions of others that have had contact experiences have connected with benevolent and loving beings. My first experience was a little lower vibrational experience, and it was still beautiful, because when you get to the root of it, it's really only love there, right? We're all just different expressions of God. But underlying is love throughout all of it, just like light and dark, you know? It's all parts of us. And we gotta learn to love the dark as well as the light in us and vibrate in the light. So anyhow, fear is important not to have it, or they won't show up, because they do truly care that about our free will, part of, universal law. If someone's scared within the group that you're with, then they won't show up, or they might show up, but just way high up in the sky, or something of that sort. So no fear is important, and it's to watch videos like this and content from Stephen Greer or JK Ultra or Lily Nova Starseed, just to get an idea of how much love is truly there, and dissolve any fears that you might have with making this contact. All right. So that's the first step. The second step, a part I love, is just getting into the heart frequency, right? It's talking about the love again, right? So getting into the heart frequency. What I love to do is sit out under the night sky, or you could do it in the day sky as well. But I enjoy the night sky because you can see so much more. So I like to be in my chair or wherever I am and just sit and put my hands, both hands on my heart, and just start emanating love. Fill myself up with love, and then with so much love, and just have your hands on your heart and take some breaths of the divine source, and get into just this loving frequency. And when you're feeling so much love, then you start just sending it from your heart space up into the cosmos, up into the stars. It's like a beacon, It's like a calling card that there's some love coming up here, and there's an intention to make connection, right? So getting into that heart frequency and just feeling so much love. If you're having a challenging time getting there, think of some things that you love. Think of the unconditional love of a puppy or a dog, right? So just to get into that state of unconditional love. All right, for step 3, there's the CTS. It's called Coherent Thought Sequencing, right? So this is a brain and heart coherence. We want to get them on the same page, essentially, and flowing, right? So you want to create this harmony. So you set an intention to connect your mind and your heart, vibrating with the same thoughts and frequency and intentions, right? Because that'll amplify and magnify your consciousness, because consciousness is truly magic. And you're putting your love out into the field, and everything is aligned in harmony and in flow with this coherent thought sequencing. Then it's like a calling card. They're gonna latch onto that, hook onto that, right? So get into that state. And the best way is to take these first steps that I've shared, the no fear, just coming into peace, into love and joy, and then getting in the heart frequency and sending your love up into the cosmos, right? And then that coherent thought sequencing with an intention to make a connection with extraterrestrial life and your galactic family. So that intention, because our intentions are so powerful and they travel ahead of us to arrange everything so that we'll receive what we intended to receive. It's the magic of this spiritual technologies that we use, all right? So we bring all those in for step 4, which is a meditation, right? So you're already in such a loving frequency and you're sending so much love, and then you go through this meditation. It's a guided one, and it's ideal to meditate with a group of people, like hopefully like 3 or more that are interested and want to do this with you. Because when you do that, you amplify and magnify the consciousness and your calling card for them to come and visit, right? Oh, I love this. This is so cool. So within this meditation, within this guided meditation, and I'll share some resources with you. Within this guided meditation, you go into that sweet spot, and get relaxed. Love meditation. And then you have an intention to connect with your galactic family, right? But in this, when you're in that love frequency and you're meditating, you're going to start showing him where you are physically on the land in consciousness, right? It's kind of like how Google Earth would work if you ever typed in a location and see how it spins the globe and then zooms in right into where you're looking to find, right? So you're doing the same thing when you show them in this meditation in consciousness, showing them where you are. So you're on Earth, right? So you're the 3rd planet from the sun. So you show them the sun and Earth, and then you start zooming in, right? Start zooming in to the continent where you're at. And then from the continent into the country that you're at. And then from the country into the state, and then into the city, and then into the town, or wherever you are. So you pinpoint your location in consciousness during this meditation. And it's a magical, magical frequency. And there's some other resources to use, and I'll share those at the end with you, so you can have all the tools you need to make this contact. For now, we're going to step in to another way. Because if you try these ways, step 5 has been one way that never fails and always works. And by the way, doing all these things and doing this will even help more. And so number 5 is plant medicine. As in plant medicine, I'm speaking of psychedelics, like a psilocybin or an ayahuasca. But note that you want to do this with intention. Just like if you were going to go into a plant medicine ceremony, you share your intention with the group. Because what I've discovered, when you share an intention, you always receive it. Like I was saying, they travel ahead of you to arrange everything so you'll receive it. So when you set intentions, it's so powerful. And make sure you set that intention in the positive polarity and the qualities of the divine, which is love, peace, joy, harmonizing good, wholeness, freedom. Set it an intention, like an intention to make a connection with a loving, benevolent being from other planets. And if you resonate with one of the planets, like the Arcturians or the Pleiadians or the Mintonkins or the Syrians or the Lyrans, then do that. It's whatever you want to experience. Our intentions are so powerful. So with plant medicine, the idea is it's a permission slip. It's a permission slip to raise your frequency and vibration. And plant medicine is something that brings you automatically to a high frequency, so you hold a high vibration. And when you start vibrating where they're at, that's when they reveal themselves to you. So that's why I was sharing all the first 4 techniques, because you can get into such a loving space and frequency that when you get to that point that calling card, like I was saying, that loving frequency, they'll show up because you've raised your frequency and vibration to match theirs. And that's when they reveal themselves. So plant medicine with intention is an amazing hack to connect with those beings. And I say if you do all 5 of those, that's almost guaranteed. I can't guarantee anything, but it's almost guaranteed that you will have an experience. So I invite you to do that. So we're moving on to step number 6, and that is the resources, right? So the way I first found out about this and started practicing it was from Dr. Stephen Greer. He has a movie on Amazon called CE5, it's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, where you make contact in consciousness. And it's such a gift because he created an app to help support you in making this contact. And it's beautiful. It's a network of people that you can see, kind of like you're calling an Uber or whatever it is. Same type thing. You can see the other people in your area that are on the app, and you can connect with them through the app to go out and do some field work and make contact, which is super cool. And in addition, there's several guided meditations specifically to make contact there that are just magical to tune into. And there's an abundance of resources within this app, so I highly recommend it. And there's also these frequencies that they recorded in the crop circles. And you can play those frequencies before the meditation. And those frequencies act as a beacon and honing device for the ETs and galactic family to lock in on your location. So many resources that you could pull from in the CE5 app. So I highly recommend doing that. So that's CE5 app. I'll put it in the description so you can get that app. I went to look, I think it's a couple dollars. I'm not positive. I went to check how much it was, but I already have it, so I don't know how much it is exactly, okay? And another thing that's great is check Facebook groups. There's been groups popping up all over the world, these Facebook groups, so you can check to see if there's one in your local town. And if there is, join it. I invite you to join it. And if there isn't, I invite you to start one if you're so inspired, right? So the Facebook groups, because that's a dynamic way to get out, connect with your tribe, and go out and make contact with these benevolent beings, all right? So getting in one of these groups is your access to get out there and make contact with these beings, right? And I love doing it in a group, and it's always more fun in a group because when you do see these ET crafts come in and fly, and some might get really low for you too. And I don't know, who knows, some might land. A lot of it happens where, you know, they're still cloaked and invisible, and they'll land, but you feel that energy, all right? It is the most dynamic, loving energy that you can ever feel. And so those are the resources. And I just wanted to share one more thing, one more beautiful share for making contact. So when you do have contact, and you will if you keep this up, like I started out with groups and doing that, and I loved it so much. I love my star family connection. I love it so much. I'll go out and do it by myself. But the fun is experiencing it with other people and everyone sharing in the same experience in their own unique way. Like, it's super exciting. So the one hack is, because they do hold such a high frequency and vibration, and that's why it's more challenging for them to come down here, and that's why contact, open contact, hasn't happened all over the world. And that's because a lot of humanity is not quite ready. And so it is my hope and intention with this video to share this and get it to others and share it with friends and become a bridge to allowing contact, open contact all over the world to happen sooner. And once you start having some experiences with contact, I'm positive that you will want to have more, especially with those loving experiences. And they all are. I was wrapping up my video, and my microphone cut out, so that footage didn't work. So I'm out here, and it's all synchronistic because the moon, wanted to make its appearance for us right here. Anyhow, so there's one more resource to share, and that's Bashar, and you can find him on bashar.org, and he has a video on making contact, and that's actually the first experience that we had with ETs after watching Bashar's video. And we didn't even do what he shared, we just set an intention, and we received that intention, and not 2 days later they showed up, and it was so magical, and I'm so grateful for it. So bashar.org. Bashar is a hybrid ET, an Asasani, I believe, and Daryl Anka channels Bashar. So that's another amazing resource, and I'm sure there's multiple others that I haven't shared yet, like Iseti Ranch. That's a great one, and he's on YouTube as well, James Gillian. So many great resources. And so one more thing that Bashar shared that has helped me throughout making all of these contact experiences is you start feeling uncomfortable. So say a craft gets really close or even lands, and these beings are so close, they hold such a high vibration and frequency that it's uncomfortable, right? But just as Bashar shared, and what I'm sharing now, is when you feel uncomfortable, almost like scared, it's not fear. What you got to recognize and realize is it's only love there, right? It's only unconditional love. So when you get in that uncomfortable stage where you're feeling uncomfortable, recognize it for what it is, unconditional love. And then that energy, that uncomfortableness just morphs into the most benevolent and loving vibration of love. And then a higher octave of love comes in, and you feel uncomfortable again. And you go through the same process. Recognize it for what it's for. It's only love. It's only unconditional love. Allow it to wash over you and recognize it for what it's for. It's love. And then you just feel higher and higher octaves of love like you've never felt before. So I definitely invite you to do that. So thank you so much, my friends, for tuning in, for liking this content, for sharing it, and for subscribing to our channel. For sharing this video and others like it is a way that we become a bridge to support humanity in realizing open contact even sooner, because there is only love there, and they are here to support us in this ascension of Earth, and it's such a gift. So I invite you to do that. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I look forward to connecting with you soon, and I'll see you in the cosmos, my friends. All right. Namaste, humbly.